The enigmatic hills of Visoko's hidden pyramids. In the quiet valleys of Bosnia near the small town of Visoko rises a series of forest-covered hills that appear at first glance to be simple features of the landscape, yet upon closer observation they reveal shapes so deliberate and symmetrical that they have ignited one of the most controversial debates in modern archaeology. Some believe these formations are the remains of ancient man-made pyramids older and grander than any in Europe, while others insist they are purely natural creations sculpted by time and erosion.
The most prominent of these formations, known as the Pyramid of the Sun, dominates the valley with its sharply defined slopes forming a near-perfect triangular profile. From certain angles, the precision of its geometry is striking. Its sides align almost perfectly to the cardinal directions and the terraces step upward as though crafted by human hands. Nearby smaller hills bear names like the Pyramid
of the Moon and the Pyramid of the Dragon, and together they form a landscape that feels both ancient and intentional. Beneath these hills lies a vast system of tunnels and stone passages that some claim connect the pyramid structures, forming a subterranean labyrinth stretching for kilometers. Archaeologist Samir Osmanagic, who leads the excavations, believes these tunnels were carved by an ancient civilization using advanced techniques. The passageways show straight walls, carefully shaped ceilings, and stacked stone blocks that resemble primitive concrete, he suggests. The tunnels were designed for ceremonial or astronomical purposes, possibly linked to the alignment of the pyramids themselves. Supporters of the theory point to layers of stone that appear to be artificially placed there, flat surfaces and regular shapes, hinting at construction rather than geology. In some sections, layers of clay separate stone blocks as if used intentionally for insulation or stability. Within the tunnels, researchers have discovered carvings, unusual symbols, and sealed chambers, leading many to wonder if these hidden spaces hold artifacts or remnants of an unknown people who once lived beneath these hills. Critics, however, argue that the formations of Visoko are the result of natural geological processes over millions of years. Tectonic movements uplifted slabs of sandstone and conglomerate rock, and erosion shaped them into triangular ridges that resemble pyramids. The terraces, they say, are simply fractures formed as the stone layers weathered away over time. For mainstream geologists, the so-called pyramid blocks are nothing more than naturally occurring rock plates formed through sedimentation and splitting. Despite the skepticism, the site continues to inspire curiosity because the evidence refuses to fit neatly into one explanation. Even natural formations rarely display such precise angles and linear ridges. The tunnels themselves seem too organized to be purely accidental. Their layout suggests planning, purpose, and intent, leading many to question whether at least some human modification took place in antiquity. Another layer of fascination comes from the alignments. The Pyramid of the Sun appears to orient directly toward true north, an extraordinary feat if intentional. Some researchers claim the positioning of the pyramids reflects astronomical knowledge, with the structures aligning to the sun, the moon, and particular stars, suggesting that whoever built or shaped them may have observed celestial cycles for agricultural, religious, or navigational reasons. Legends from the region deepen the mystery. Local folklore speaks of sacred hills, hidden chambers, and ancient guardians protecting powerful energy. Stories passed down through generations long before the modern excavations began. For centuries, villagers regarded the hills as holy places, sites of prayer and healing, where strange phenomena were said to occur. Even today, visitors report sensations of calm and unexplained energy while exploring the tunnels below. To those who believe the pyramids of Visoko are genuine, the implications are profound. They suggest that Europe may once have been home to an advanced prehistoric civilization with knowledge of architecture, astronomy, and geometry far beyond what historians currently accept. Such a possibility challenges conventional timelines and reshapes our understanding of early human culture. Yet the mystery endures unresolved. The scientific community demands more conclusive proof, while excavations continue to uncover new chambers, terraces, and geometric anomalies that blur the line between the natural and the constructed. The debate has transformed Visoko into a symbol of the human desire to uncover hidden truths, a reminder that even in the heart of a well-studied continent, secrets of the distant past may still lie buried just beneath our feet. Standing at the base of the Pyramid of the Sun, the forested slopes rising sharply toward the sky, it is impossible not to feel the pull of wonder. Whether the work of nature or of ancient hands, the hills of Visoko possess a power that stirs imagination and invites exploration. As the evening light drapes the valley in gold, the question lingers: what lies beneath these enigmatic formations, waiting to reveal the story of a forgotten age hidden within the earth itself? The enigmatic stone guardians of Rapa Nui. From the misty peaks of Peru, where even gravity appears to defy human understanding, our journey drifts across the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean toward one of the most remote inhabited places on the planet, a solitary island adrift in an endless sea more than 2,000 miles from the nearest continent. Here, upon rolling emerald hills and ancient volcanic slopes, rise colossal figures sculpted from stone, silent sentinels whose presence commands awe and reverence. These are the Moai of Easter Island, solemn, timeless, and immovable. They stand as guardians, watching both the land and the boundless ocean, embodying a mystery that has endured for countless generations. Some of these statues reach over 30 feet in height and weigh close to 80 tons, while others lie partially buried as if still waiting to awaken from the earth. Their expressionless faces and hollow gazes convey a quiet power, a sense of memory and warning whispered through time. The island, known locally as Rapa Nui, measures a mere 63 square miles, yet it is home to nearly 900 of these immense monuments, each one meticulously carved from volcanic tuff quarried from the slopes of the ancient volcano Ranoraku, a mountain seemingly alive with half-finished forms frozen in the act of creation. But beyond their craftsmanship lies the riddle that continues to puzzle historians, engineers, and explorers alike. How were these massive figures moved from their quarries to the stone platforms known as ahus scattered along the coastline? The people of Rapa Nui had no metal tools, no beasts of burden, and no wheels. They relied solely on their skill, determination, and unity, yet somehow they managed to transport and position these massive sculptures perfectly upright, each facing inland as if to protect the living from unseen forces. Over centuries, many theories have emerged. Early European voyagers speculated that giants or divine powers lifted the statues into place. Later archaeological studies suggested that the Moai were laid on wooden sledges and dragged over logs, a task requiring immense manpower and vast amounts of timber. However, Rapa Nui's landscape today shows little trace of large forests, leaving researchers to question whether such a method was even possible without devastating the fragile island ecosystem. Modern scholars such as archaeologist Joanne van Tilburg propose that ropes, levers, and strategic coordination could have achieved the task. Others, including Pavel and Thor Heyerdahl, tested another approach, demonstrating that the statues might have been moved upright, rocked gently from side to side in a walking motion, guided by ropes and teamwork reminiscent of shifting a heavy object with rhythm and precision. Intriguingly, the island's oral traditions describe the Moai as having walked themselves to their resting places, a poetic image that may preserve fragments of an ancient technique long forgotten. Yet even as experiments shed light on possible methods, the deeper enigma remains. How did an isolated island culture surrounded by the endless Pacific master such monumental engineering and artistry? Some unconventional theories suggest that the people of Rapa Nui possessed a lost form of knowledge, perhaps an understanding of sound, vibration, or natural energy that allowed them to move stone in ways that defy modern logic. Others imagine that Easter Island was once part of a wider seafaring civilization, now swallowed by the ocean and time. Mainstream archaeology, however, attributes the achievement to human ingenuity, discipline, and spiritual devotion. Still, mysteries persist. Why create nearly 1,000 of these stone figures? Why continue to expand their scale even as natural resources dwindled? What drove generations to dedicate their lives to raising these silent stone ancestors to the Rapa Nui? The Moai were not mere sculptures but living vessels of spiritual power known as mana. Each represented a chief, a family line, or an ancestral protector. To carve and raise a Moai was to give physical form to the spirit of the ancestors, ensuring their presence and guidance over the community. When the trees were gone and the old ways faded, the statues remained standing solemn and weathered, their purpose obscured by time and erosion. Today, the Moai endure, battered by wind and rain, yet still commanding reverence. Theories continue to evolve, experiments are repeated, and new evidence emerges, but the sense of wonder remains unchanged. These massive stone guardians, shaped by human hands, continue to defy the limits of imagination, standing eternal over a landscape once filled with life and meaning. Was it merely muscle and wood that moved them, or something more? Ancient harmony between humanity and the forces of nature, a forgotten science that once bound spirit and earth together. As the sun sinks into the Pacific horizon, stretching the shadows of the Moai across the quiet grasslands of Rapa Nui, one can almost feel their watchful gaze following the fading light, as if whispering to every visitor who dares to wonder, how did we come to be here? And perhaps somewhere within the silence of stone, the island still remembers.